All right, pre-show. Rants of Izzo here on Spreely Media. There we go. All right, kids, if you're watching on any of the other platforms, we only run the first few minutes of the show here. To watch the full episode, you have to go to rantsofizzo.com or Spreely.com. Spreely.com, Spreely. So you know what? Let me pull this up for your viewing pleasure. Spreely.com. Let me show you all what it looks like. Look at this. It says, welcome to Spreely. If you go check out Spreely.com, you can get news. You can go to our Spreely social. Look at this. It's a free speech social media network on Spreely. You can say whatever you want, not get in trouble. Nobody's going to delete your stuff. It's fantastic. If you want to watch, look at, you can go live now, and you can watch channel 1, which we're on. We're going to get rid of that there for a second. You can check out Spreely videos. You ever want to watch some videos that we have going on? Go to Spreely video. You can, there's a bunch of stuff you could do on Spreely. You want to know, polling for America, you want to get paid to share the stuff? Just go to Spreely.com. It's pretty simple. All right, 1 minute, we're going live. As always, it's Thursday. We've got Lola Christina sitting with us today and talk about. We're better planned today than we were last week, so Lola doesn't get all pissed at me. Like, I didn't want to be on the show last week because your topic sucked and you brought out bullshit.
What fucking accent was that?
I don't even know. Don't you guys have like a bunch of different dialects there? You've got shitty taste in conspiracy theories. All right, kids. Just about what?
Last week was shit.
Yeah,
I apologize to anybody that wasted an hour of their life last week, because I did.
That's not the case. It's not that it's shit. It's shit topics for you because you're very familiar with it all, and not everybody else is.
Half of them weren't even familiar with them. It was just crap.
There you go.
Crap that you found on the first page of TikTok.
Well, here we go. All right, kids, let's go live. Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely. Today we'll do better. Reese. All right, kids.
Where the hell is that?
What? God, screw that one up.
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominick Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
Hi, peeps. It's the Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely Media, Spreely.com and the Rantsofizzo.com. Your one-stop shop for just everything. Entertainment, education. My co-host's fixing her boobs because apparently you having problems with your boobs today? They look great as always, but it is what it is. All right, Lola Christina's sitting in today. Lola joins on Thursdays where we talk about all good, fun things. We're going to talk about some good conspiracy theories today because you really didn't like what we had last week to offer. So today we're going to talk about. I want to bring something up that is completely off topic. I went grocery shopping. I don't know if you saw my stories. I went grocery shopping the other day, and I'm on this like carnivore, low carb diet stuff or whatever. Because the older you get, I do feel like crap, and it's probably because of the decades of just crap I've been putting into my body, and it's catching up, right? So I'm like, man, I miss bread. I go grab like some heart health wheat multi-grain bread, and I actually read the label, and I could not believe look at the shit-eating grin on your face already. So you're from England. Do you travel? Do you ever been?
It's really bad in America. Like there's branded stuff that we have like here and there, and I've seen like the labels. The ingredient list is twice the size in the US version. Well, it's crazy.
I've never
they just desperately want to poison and kill you all. Probably more so than here, but yeah, like
I've made banana bread several times when I was younger. I used to love that. It's like a dessert, but so I've never made bread. And the last time I checked, I thought that the main ingredients in bread were flour, water, salt, and yeast. And I don't even understand the yeast aspect. I guess I don't know how they figured out centuries and centuries ago that they needed yeast, but I'm sure they didn't make it without it. But there were like seed oils and X amount of oils and this additive. And I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So last night I made a loaf of bread and it was insanely easy. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm never buying stuff again. But that also led into something else where, I started eating a lot more butter in my diet because that's what like the carnivore diet calls for. But I noticed something. Butter doesn't get soft anymore when you leave it out. Like it used to, it's still a little bit hard to spread. And then I started Googling that online and it says because I guess cows are fed a lot more palm oil. So it prevents butter, which I guess in the United States, we don't have real butter either. But I can't believe the crap that we're putting in our body. Is it much different over by you?
Well, butter does melt and go spreadable here, or at least the butter that I've got. But like, I can't really say. I know that you guys over there have got it really bad. So like they're definitely trying to poison you at every angle with the ingredient lists and everything. But like, you're better off going to a farm shop or like a local. Do you have like a local sort of farm place where you can buy your butter?
Yeah.
That would be what it's supposed to be. Or even you could make your own, Dom. And it's so easy to make butter. You literally just fucking whip cream up until it goes stiff.
Where's the hang on?
And you put a bit of salt in it and you've got butter. It's that easy, but we're all too lazy now, aren't we? With like convenience.
100% we are on that. Let's talk about some fun stuff. Topics that have been pissing people off lately. Apparently when Lola comes on, it really rattles the cages of people who can't think outside of the box. You didn't like the topics we went last week, so you're going hardcore. And you got to send me a bunch of NASA stuff. Before we go down that, I actually want to ask you about the banking system because you brought that up the week before, and you brought it up again when I told you, so what we're going to talk about today, let's talk about the banking system. Can you give a little bit of a view on that? Because we had Dave Champion on last Monday who spoke all about he hasn't filed income tax in 30 years here.
Of that where I was saying you don't have to pay tax. Yeah, he's very right. Tax is completely voluntary. This all goes back to like the straw man and how we are not actually our names. I don't know if you know much about the straw man, but
no.
Basically, when you're born and they give you a birth certificate, that certificate is pretty much it's a bond which pronounces you dead. And can be therefore owned by the government. So you register this birth certificate with your parents' name on it, and parents is a pair who rents. As soon as you write out and sign this birth certificate, you're basically signing property of your child over to the government. That's why CPS can come and take your kid off you, and like loads of other things, but. It all stems from that. It stems from the birth certificate, which is, it's basically your legal name makes you a corporation. That's why when you mail through the letter, it'll always be addressed to Mr. Dominick Izzo or Dominick Izzo in capitals. I'm sure that's probably not your real name, but you know what I mean? It'll all be in capital letters, like on a tombstone, because they can only address the dead legal fiction. A corporation can only deal with another corporation, can't deal with a living man or woman. The government can't deal with you as a living man. Your utilities, gas, electric, water companies, they can't deal with living, breathing human beings, although that's a human beings, another word that's in the Black's Law Dictionary that I don't like to use. But They can't deal with living men and women, basically. They have to deal with another corporation. So that's what the banking system and the legal system, it runs so deep. Like, that's why I said to you, like, we should probably dedicate a full episode to that, because there's so many like routes to go down with it all. But everything is a fraud, literally from the minute you're born, everything. The banking system is no different. There's no such thing as money. Money doesn't exist. It's legal tender. It's currency. It hasn't been backed by gold since the 50s, I think. It's literally just promissory notes. That's what we all use to pay for money now. It's promissory notes. It's pieces of paper that the bank can print out as much as they want, or it's numbers on a screen predominantly now, which the bank can just create out of thin air. So bank loans, mortgages, everything is a scam, and the bank profit off of us big time, because we use our energy, we use our life force to earn that money, even though it's not real money. The only real valuable source on earth now is like our energy, what we put out there to earn this money. That the money's worth nothing. It's our energy that's worth everything.
And our efforts. Yes, it blows me away too. Somebody brought that argument up years ago with we have a social security number here, and they said that's your ID number. It's you're issued it at birth, and that's how they wind up doing everything that you just talked about.
It's national insurance number. Yeah.
Wonderful. God, what did you just say? You talked about it's I get paid. I don't remember. I think I have. Yeah, I literally have like $8. I have a 5 and 3 1s, and I'm like, outside of that, everything is just numbers and commas that get deposited in my bank. It's like I don't remember. I remember when I was a bartender. Yeah, I used to have $500 cash on me all the time. Now I'm like, I don't remember the last time I just used really cash for anything. It blows me away, and everything's on our phone. I'm not set up that Apple Pay. I try to keep things as I don't know, kind of spread out as possible, because I don't want everything just one and centralized. Do you think that they are? Well, it's a stupid question. So they are going to do that social currency, aren't they?
Well, that's the plan. I'm not going to say yes, they're going to do it, because at the end of the day, they need us to consent to it. They need us to go along with it all. Unfortunately, 90% of the population are just fucking sheep who'll just go along with anything. But I'm not going to say, yeah, it's going to happen, because they need us to consent to it. They need us to make it happen. But they've put all of this out there. They've put all of the plans out there that want us to know what their plan is, what they want us to do. Like China's the blueprint of what they want for everywhere, with the social credit score and everything being digital. And China are just a nation of cattle. I think that's why they were chosen as like the blueprint sort of country to test this scheme out, because they're just so obedient and they'll just do as they're told. And they're already a communist country, and they don't have a choice in anything, do they? They don't have a say. So it was a good place to like be a testing ground for this. But I think that's what they want.
And they've got cameras everywhere in China, apparently. Did you see the Netflix series Black Mirror?
I've seen a couple of them, but I didn't like it because it was a little bit too. I find it difficult to watch TV at the best of times, because I just see all the subliminal messages and predictive programming, and I just see the plot in everything, and I see like, why do they want me to watch this? And it's like I see the agenda in everything, and it spoils things for me, to be honest.
Yes, we talked about that.
I've seen a few Black Mirrors.
Yeah, Ashley and I were talking about that a couple of years ago, how there's nothing to unwind and enjoy out, because it's like the last year, it sounds really ridiculous, but the last year that I truly remember where I went, man, I don't enjoy movies anymore, was 1997. And that's, you had Good Will Hunting, As Good as It Gets, Titanic, they were all up for Best Pictures. And I'm like, they're all like...
Titanic's predictive programming central.
Well, my point being is, it's like they're all like based on real events, right? I go to the movies to be entered. Well, Titanic Titanic was fake. I'm believing more and more about that, and that's probably why they don't want subs down there. And they probably exploded that fake sub because they saw, like, I don't know, Lusitania on the side of it, and it wasn't Titanic. But anyways, there's nothing to enjoy anymore because it's not the suspension of disbelief where you can enjoy it. And there's an episode, Black Mirror, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll watch this. And it's like a bunch of Twilight Zone episodes, but every one of them, I'm like, I can see this happening. One of them was, I think it was Bryce Dallas Howard, who's like Tom Howard's daughter, the redhead. There was an episode completely on social credit score. And, you have to walk past people and smile, and somebody will, like, swipe up your profile. And if you don't do it, they'll swipe down. It's like, it was just, I was like, oh my God, this shit is coming. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they put this stuff on programs so that we watch it and just think, oh yeah, it's fiction, oh yeah, it's make believe, and we don't take it seriously. But we've taken it into our subconscious. It's in our minds one way or another. It's in the back of our minds, and then whether or not we think about it, we've watched it, so we've acquiesced to it. Whether they say it's a fictional program or not, we've watched it and we may or may not have enjoyed it. That's their way of, again, with the satanic karmic retribution thing. They've told us what they're going to do. They've told us what their plans are. So, that's why I try to avoid watching stuff like that, because I don't want to acquiesce. I don't want to give it any of my attention. I don't want to give it my time, my attention. I'd rather just fucking watch white noise, to be honest.
It's kind of
a bit like an autistic person now who just watches the same shit over and over again because I know what I'm going to expect. I know what to expect. Like Game of Thrones. I think I've watched Game of Thrones probably 11 times now.
I just saw some guy did a reel saying that it's like something about along the lines of people who can't succumb to peer pressure are those who've never watched Game of Thrones. I'm like, that's me. Never watched it. Let me have to get into that. I just watched again. I watched The Umbrella Academy for the second time. Because I was like, I need something entertaining, and it was on that. All right, let's check out some stuff you sent. This is proof NASA fakes everything. There was a, what do you call it? There was a still from here that I want to talk about it. So let's watch this together for those who are watching and those who are listening. Enjoy. Oh, this is NASA crossed wires. What? What are we looking at here? I'm going to mute this so there's no volume. What are we looking at?
It's very difficult to see because, like, the screen's not
dude, look at his shirt being pulled.
Yeah.
By a wire. Oh, man. Yeah, I see that. All right, this is proof of a harness.
These are just some clips that I found really short notice, but there's literally hundreds of examples of NASA's CGI and wires and bullshit all being done really poorly, and it's really, really obvious. They're supposed to be floating in space. They shouldn't be having wires on. They shouldn't be using green screens.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff go. Okay, look at his shirt in the back is being pulled up by like a wire there. Till you can see two things like coming up. All right, I'll go with it.
So that you can see it a bit better.
Let me see if I could do that here and zoom. Oh.
Because the attention's in the details on these videos.
I can't zoom in that much, but I will continue. That's what you need the narrative for. All right, there's that. All right, let's check him out. He's going upside down, and the wires, and yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's got the hip rotation on. Let's see where his calves are, and his leg. Oh yeah, look at his pants. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, look at the back of the pants. Oh, my gosh, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It's
pathetic. I almost think it's deliberate. Again, going back to the karmic retribution thing, I think that they do it in such a sloppy way because they're telling us that they're fucking around in a room with wires and green screens. They're telling us. I'm sorry, they get fucking something like 50 million a day to fucking run this shit. They would have better capabilities to do it better than to make such sloppy mistakes, but they make them all the time, and it's almost obvious.
The only argument I would ever like challenge, right? Is I would say, well, it costs $500 million to send 4 people into space to do this. So since we already know it exists, we're going to do it for $5 million. And look at him grab him right by the wire. He grabs him right by the friggin' wire. I mean, that would be the only thing is to say, yeah, we're doing it in studio because we don't want to waste $455 million. Oh, jeez. Why? I don't know why. Oh, my gosh. As usual. Okay, let's see. Well, there's that one. Did you ever see, because they show in the picture of this, did you weren't born when the Challenger exploded, were you?
I don't think so.
86?
What year was it?
86.
Yeah, I wasn't even an idea then.
Okay.
But,
Challenger.
But I obviously know all about it and how they're all still alive.
Right. Oh my gosh, I got to see that. If there's, I want to see if there's video on that one. For those who do not know, back in 1986, I was a kid. I was in grammar school. I was 11 years old. And
did the wheel TV into the classroom and make you watch?
Yeah,
it?
they did. Yes, they did. So,
yeah.
They're not. Of course, YouTube's not going to friggin' have it. Of course, you type in Challenger still alive, and they're not.
It is YouTube, but you won't find it from a search.
No, I've seen some other stuff on here. Here's Reuters, the 7 deaths, the deaths of the NASA astronauts during mid-explosion. People sit there and they say that, like, here's a picture of this. Oh no, man, they scrubbed the shit out of this, dude.
Looking at, is that on Google there where they've got the buns on the right?
Yeah, here's something. This is on Reddit, of course. The members of the Challenger crew are alive and still well. And these are pictures that are insane. These look like the same damn people.
And not only that, they could have doppelgangers. A lot of them have the exact same name as well.
Right.
Which is just super coincidental. They haven't even been asked to change the name.
Right, here's Ronald McNair, Challenger mission specialist. And then there's Carl McNair.
He claims twin brother, that one. He claims to be his twin brother that just appeared. He wasn't at the takeoff. There was no footage of him at the takeoff. There's no pictures of them as kids together. If you're twins, you'd have pictures of your twin together, wouldn't you? There's no pictures of that at all. It's just a twin brother that magically appeared at the funeral, and still does like paid talks today to talk about it. Like,
right, here's Francis Richard. I can't pronounce that last name. But I can't pronounce it. You see it, but he's the crew of the commander of the Challenger. Then the CEO of Cows and Trees is Richard, same last name. They look the damn same. I just, my only thing on that one is just kind of like, could you imagine having to keep your mouth shut and not be drunk at a party in one day and go, yeah, I was on the Challenger. I was there. Oh.
There's video footage. What like independent people have gone, like they've gone to that guy's house, and there's one of them who's a university professor. There's probably more than one. One of them, the one with the dark hair, and then the like second from the bottom one. I think she's called Krista or something. She's a university lecturer, and like somebody's got up to her with the phone recording and been like, well, I just wanted to ask you about the Challenger explosion.
Yeah,
and you can just. She just sort of like bricks it and then just turns and walks away and doesn't speak to him. She just completely ignores him. Like she's got no answers at all. And some of them have been approached and they've got like rehearsed answers and they'll say, oh yeah, it does look like me, doesn't it? But I've had this a few times, but I can assure you it's not me, But she just like completely shits herself and just like tries to run away. It's really funny.
Did you ever see Buzz Aldrin when he answers the little girl? Here's a little girl asks why nobody's been back to the moon. And Buzz Aldrin, he's on Conan O'Brien, and he flat out says, what you guys saw was not real time. He said that what you saw was studio footage of it. So I'm going to play this. This is Buzz Aldrin confesses we never went to the moon, but I'll let him say it.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
I think he's so angry. Like Buzz Aldrin's got to be so angry that he just doesn't give a shit anymore.
I think he has well rehearsed the answer, because if you listen to it, it sounds like a politician's answer. It doesn't make any sense. Yep. But at the same time, he's an old man now. You know, he could be losing his marbles a little bit, or maybe his conscience could just be kicking in, because he said a few times, like you just said on that talk show, like he said it a few times, like, no, you didn't see that. You saw animation. We didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. You know, I feel like his conscience is kicking in now as an old man, to where the point where he can't lie to a little girl who's asking him that question. He's probably told that lie so many times that he can't do it anymore. So
he's probably angry as shit that he has to lie.
He don't want to get fucking bumped off. He don't want to get a fucking bullet in his head and like fucking get finished, and you know. But
and you know they threaten their families and everything too.
Comfortable telling a lie, and you can tell.
This is him on.
It's funny as well, because when the moon landing happened, he was the most.
Let's talk about this, because
the most outspoken one. He was the one that was most comfortable telling the lie.
Did you ever see the video of them when they came back and they had to be like deposed? How just they were like.
And they all look like they're just fucking families of all just commit suicide.
Drugged. They were zombies. They were like drugged out of their minds. This is Buzz Aldrin on Conan O'Brien in the 90s. And Conan says, this is his answer for what Conan makes a statement on.
Let's talk about this, because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, but what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about, you know, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It was exciting.
A few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Come on, man.
You can tell that he's got fed up of telling the lie to everyone.
Mm-hmm. So, and that was the 90s.
And he was so quick to cut him off then. No, you didn't. You saw animation, because he's gotten fed up of telling the lie to people.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you only need half a brain cell to figure out that the moon landing was faked. Never mind everything else. The idea that the moon landing was faked is quite acceptable to most people in the truth community. They're quite okay to say, yeah, the moon landing was obviously faked. It was a Stanley Kubrick special.
Oh, yes.
Quite okay to say that. But if you say anything else, like, oh, actually, NASA lie about everything, you know, about where you live, what's up there, what's going on, they lie about it all. That seems to make people feel very uncomfortable because of the programming that we've all had. But yeah, the moon landing's a fucking joke.
It always blows me away when they talk about the fact that we lost the technology to go there. I don't understand how we could take computers the size of a home and fit all that power times 100 and stick it in the palm of your hands. You can stick it in your back pocket now, but
I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not a fucking computer geek, but I'm pretty sure, like, the data storage that's on an iPhone is bigger than what they used for the moon landing. Agreed.
100% agreed. 100%.
To say that they can't go back, it's like, okay. Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue this. We're doing Lola sent a bunch of awesome space, fake space stuff, and we're going to watch them together. This is Space Agencies Don't Go to Space. Space is fiction. NASA Deception is from this channel. If you're claiming to be awake and still believe we live on a spinning ball, you're still dead asleep. In order to come to the truth, you got to walk through the door and leave your ego at the door, step behind. Share with loved ones. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, this is someone's got their microphone and right. If there's gravity or if there's no gravity, why did it upend like that so quickly? Like, why did the top of the microphone go again? Oh, gee, it's funny.
The point is, they're not in space.
Yeah, that's same old on that one. I think we looked at this one already. Let's take a look again in case it's the same one.
Folks, are you really in space still?
See the hair?
I don't know. We're gonna have to do something for you.
We don't have time for
It's the same one that we saw in the beginning, and that's the other thing too is the hair thing.
That's another really funny thing. As a former hairdresser, yeah, and I know what hair looks like when it's floating. Say like when you're underwater,
right?
And long
Right.
Hair, that's what it would do in an anti-gravity environment. But that hair has just been fucking hairsprayed to death.
100%. It's the hair is standing. Her hair is standing straight up on her head, instead of like it would be underwater.
There's loads where they do it to women with long hair, and it's like,
oh, you sent it.
I can tell that's been hairsprayed like that.
Okay, you sent it. Hang on, the Challenger.
The 7 are still alive and kicking today. Ellison Onizuka claims to be his identical twin brother, Claude. The Challenger pilot, Mickey Smith, hasn't even bothered changing his name. He's now Professor Michael J. Smith of University of Wisconsin. Now, Krista McAuliffe was a bit of a sneaky one. She was the Challenger payload specialist, quite famous for being a teacher. It turns out during her astronaut days, she was using her middle name, Krista. And now she goes by her first name, Sharon. Francis Richard Scobie is now Dick Scobie, which sounds like a rather unpleasant disease, the CEO of Cows in Trees Limited. Judith Resnick, the Challenger mission specialist, again hasn't even bothered changing her name. She's a professor at Yale Law. 6 of the 7.
I just don't get that. It's like you be a little bit more, I don't know, creative. Dye your hair, maybe grow a mustache or a beard. I don't know.
Karmic retribution.
Oh,
they have to be more obvious about it to pull the joke on us. Honestly, that's the only way that I can make sense of it. Like, you would want to hide it a bit better. You would want to try harder, but they haven't tried at all. They've not had any surgery. They've not tried to make themselves look different. They've not even changed their names. It's done on purpose to laugh at people who believe in the fucking garbage that NASA tell them is truth. They're laughing at people.
Do you know who Andy Kaufman was?
I do, yes. He's one of my favorites.
Well, this was always a philosophy I had. Andy Kaufman was a genius because
hang on.
What?
I mean, was still alive? Are we thinking about a different one?
Latka from Taxi is still alive?
I think we're thinking about a different Andy Kaufman.
So Andy Kaufman was Latka from Taxi. Jim Carrey played him in the Man on the Moon movie, and
no, we're not.
He was a massive prankster who. Him and Bob Zmuda, I think that was his name. They used to play pranks, and he got in the Man on the Moon. They had a great explanation for one of the pranks he did. When he was doing a live televised show that was like in front of millions of people, Andy Kaufman wanted the producers on their end to mess with the horizontal hold of the TVs so that a constant, you're way too young to know this, but when I was a kid, you have to mess with the horizontal hold of the TV, otherwise it would flip. Like the screen would just constantly be flipping up and down, up and down, up and down. And he's like, we're going to do it on our end. And then everybody's going to get up. They're going to mess with their hold. They're going to bang the TVs, and they're going to be yelling at it, thinking something's wrong with their TV. And the producer's like, "Why would we do that?" And Andy goes, "Because it's funny." And he's like, it's funny to him. It's only he's the only one in on the joke. I always wondered, like, with these people, are they Andy Kaufman-esque, where they're like, "Yeah, it's hilarious how I'm keeping from the world Like me, I could never keep that a joke. I'd be like, dude, it was so funny. I got millions of people to do this. I would tell the story all the time. With these people who like claim they faked their death, like Tupac or Elvis or this and that, there has to be a point where you're like, yeah, I can't keep this a secret anymore. It's absolutely hilarious what I did to the world. That's how I don't know these people are doing this while they're all just faking that we didn't go to the moon or the Challenger blew up.
I don't know. Maybe. Like, have you seen the video of Stanley Kubrick?
Oh, yeah.
His death?
No, I haven't.
I think I have it saved in this phone.
Okay. While you're looking, I'm going to play this one then, because I know the big thing with... Go ahead.
The video, Stanley Kubrick, and he's probably like months away from death. I think he died like 1 or 2 months after this video, where somebody's recording him in like a house and he's just talking really naturally, and he admits to filming the moon landing and that it was all faked. He admits to it. So like the whole fucking stupid ridiculous argument when there wasn't one anyway is out the window, because Stanley Kubrick has made a video before he died admitting to it all. And like he says in the video, like, I think it's really bad that we would mislead humanity
let me
this
see,
way.
is this...
And I feel tell the truth now before, like...
I want to see if this is...
more fucking obvious than this.
Is this the video?
Did you find that on YouTube? Well done.
Yeah, is this the video?
That's the one, yeah.
I don't know if
I don't know if it's going to be like clipped to suit YouTube standards or what, but yeah, this is the one.
Let's see what he has to say a little bit.
What you want to call it? I'm not saying it's a... Okay,
a lot about that at the time.
I know, so I'm not making moral judgment, but making this huge, ambitious, technical faux landing, was it harder than 2001? Was it very difficult? I mean, what was the experience like? So 2001 was harder than faking the moon landing?
It actually was.
Because you learned things on 2001 and...
Yes. I mean, 2001 was very ambitious. And that's not to say that faking the moon landing was not ambitious, but yeah, I learned things making 2001, which is why I got this gig in the first place, right?
Right, that makes sense. So what was the experience?
It was easy for me because, well, first of all, I didn't think a whole lot about the morality of it, as I said. If I had, I might have been more hesitant, more stifled in my work, but I didn't. And I could see that Neil was, actually.
Meaning Neil Armstrong?
More than Buzz Aldrin or anyone else involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he's referencing Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Huh.
Okay.
Yes.
Neil Armstrong's initials.
N-A.
Backwards spell.
A-A-N? Wait,
No,
Neil
like-
Armstrong, A-N.
Neil A. Do you know what that spells? See if you can fucking do it now in your brain.
Alien. Huh.
Everything was going to center around him. He was the one who was supposed to come down off the ladder and announce the step for mankind and what have you. He sensed that this was going to be a life-changing experience for him, and I mean on a major scale. Actually, he was rather tortured by it the rest of his life.
Really? I mean, is that why you think of interviews?
Yes, and in fact, that actually began to affect my own perception of it, watching what happened to him.
Okay, in what way? Just seeing the deterioration of him? And I mean, was he depressed or?
He was depressed. He was drinking heavily, bitter, scared, just phobic, avoiding people.
And that guy Bart Subrell or something tried to get him to swear in a Bible.
I don't know if this is a consensual interview because the lighting is off.
This is cut in from like halfway through, I think, but I've got the full interview on my
Well, did he know that he was being interviewed?
Yeah, he knew he was being interviewed, and he was doing it for a reason, because he knew that he was dying, and he wanted to like get his side of the story out, because you can tell by his tone that he feels bad about it. He feels bad about misleading humanity. Just like Buzz Aldrin, who feels bad about it now because he can't keep his mouth shut whenever he's questioned about it. If you're a human being, a real human being with a soul, then your conscience is going to come through at some point. And lying is just. Can you imagine telling such a big, huge lie to people?
The guilt would be insane.
Like, just unless you're a psychopath, like fucking Bill Gates or any of these other cunts, then you're gonna have some sort of conscience about it. He was probably just dragged into this. He's just a film director.
I can imagine being sold at, like, in my early 20s. The president of the United States comes up, and it's Johnson at the time, right? I think, didn't they land under Johnson? Or no, 1969. So it was Nixon. I can imagine them saying, "Hey, listen, we have to beat the Russians to the moon, so you're going to be doing this for our country. It's your patriotic duty." I can imagine them swallowing that pill and not thinking, well, because, I mean, don't forget, they didn't have the technology we have now, right? Where if there's a spaceship launch, we can all watch it in real time. Back then, it'll be cataloged. We're going to film it, and 100,000 people are going to watch it. Then one else is going to tell a story. So they're not really saying. I could picture the young, patriotic parts of them falling and saying, "Okay, well, we're going to support this." But then as you get older, going, "Wow, I lied to the world."
They lied to everyone, and they got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame for it. You know what actors get because they're actors, and that's what their role was to be actors.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that. Never thought about that. Why else would they? Why that?
They've got a star each on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That makes no sense.
Oh, come on now! And I just told you a minute ago about Neil A. backwards is Alien. If you put into Google what I think it's Buzz Aldrin, what his mother is called. This is funny. I think it's Buzz Aldrin. It might be Neil Armstrong. It's Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin. The mother is called Mary Moon.
Oh, hang on a second. Neil
I think
Armstrong.
I think Buzz Aldrin's the one with the fake name and the fake persona. I think it's him that's got the mother that's called Mary Moon. But
Viola Armstrong is her. Buzz Aldrin. Let's look at that. Buzz.
Like, you
Aldrin.
can't make this shit up. You can't make it up.
Yeah.
It makes
Buzz.
How far back is it planned? And then you look at Buzz Aldrin being a Freemason and his father being a Freemason, and you can go back and you can think, is this really been planned out decades in advance? Dude, clever.
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin grew up in Montclair, New Jersey. His mother, Marion Moon, was the daughter of an Army chaplain, and his father was Eugene Aldrin, a aviation.
Moon, like, come on now, could you make that shit up?
No. Oh, hang on a second. Here you go. Buzz Aldrin's mother. His maternal grandfather had committed suicide years before as a result of depression. In 1968, before his moonwalk, Aldrin's mother also ended her own life.
I didn't know that. I'm not laughing that.
Freemason sacrifice, maybe?
Probably.
I want to play a little bit more of this interview. I want to hear a little bit more what you say.
Probably wasn't even called Mary Moon. That probably wasn't even her name. It's probably just been planted on Google for us to all think it's real. But it's still funny. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they
put this shit on there for us to see it and think it's real, and they've got their retribution that I keep bringing back up.
I mean, when I say it affected me, that's why there was so much time in between films for me. Between Full Metal Jacket and, well, between The Shining and Full Metal Jacket was about 6 years. Between Full Metal Jacket and Eyes Wide Shut is 13 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of that time was spent just...
Like just emotionally processing?
Yes. It became very conflicting for me. I was proud of my work, but at the same time, and this was a lot because of Neil's influence. Not consciously. He didn't do this to me consciously. But I spent a lot of time with him, and each time I did, I became more and more bothered, troubled by my own participation in this.
Okay. Well, what would he say? I mean, did he explain the source of his depression?
He was on the verge of tears. He did not cry. I won't say he cried, but he was on the verge of tears so many times because of what he did.
I mean,
what he participated in. It's almost as if he thought up the idea, you know?
Right. He felt that guilt.
He was almost used, really.
Okay.
But he's the one who felt the guilt. I'm sure NASA did not feel that much guilt.
And, I mean, why did he go up, I wonder? I wonder why. Because they promised him a seat in 3 years when they figured it out. They kept lying about it being possible.
Yeah, so that's another thing is do this, and we're going to send you up again when we actually do go, knowing they're never going to go.
There is nowhere to go. You can't go anywhere. Like, NASA have even been said, well, I won't say NASA, but Ben Nye, the science guy.
Isn't he a comedian? He's not a...
Earth is a closed system. We can't go anywhere. And I bet you, if you Google now, how far can you go in space? I bet it says less than the moon. I haven't done that, so I'm not going to, say that's the truth. But, they have to tell you this shit. They have told us Earth's a closed system. We can't go anywhere. But at the same time, they want us to believe that they've got rovers on Mars and we've been to the moon and all this other bullshit. It's just, they tell you the truth. You can go onto NASA's website. You can go onto most government websites or, avian, military aircraft website, wherever the fucking the blueprints and the information is, and they'll all say that we're on a flat stationary Earth. They all say that because, again, they have to tell you the truth in one way or another. And if they did say, "Oh, we're on a spinning ball in space," in these legal documents, they'd get sued because people like me would come after them and be like, "No, that's a lie. Prove it, or you're going to get." You have to prove that stuff in court, but they can't, and they know that they can't. So the truth is written in these documents that nobody reads, nobody pays attention to because they're fucking 75 million pages long.
They hide everything right in there. I watched the other day that. Did you ever see the guy I think it was Red Bull sponsored, who dove from a weather balloon?
The bum guy, Alex Baumgartner or whatever it was called.
This was my question. We have... apparently,
Felix Baumgartner, sorry.
Right. No, we have apparently these space shuttles that when they enter back into the Earth's atmosphere, they go through such intense heat, they're scorched and they're just burnt up coming through. But here apparently we have a guy that can jump off of a weather balloon and nothing happens to his space suit as he re-enters the atmosphere.
You jump from a certain point at a certain height where the Earth would be spinning thousands of miles.
Right.
And he lands just a couple of miles from where he set off. And, he's got a big fisheye lens on the camera, making the world look like a ball.
Right. I've got the...
There's even the alleged rapist Neil deGrasse Tyson who says that that's a fisheye lens. That's not how it looks. And it's
of course.
Fisheye lens, mate?
Of course, it's a fisheye lens.
They always use fisheye lenses because there's no curvature anywhere, so they have to make it look like it's a ball.
Here's the video. This guy is so. This is what blows me away. Is if the Earth is spinning, I at what point? Where is it? Another couple of 100,000 feet that you have to go before you're no longer a part of that spinning, you're within the spinning? Because otherwise, shouldn't the closer he gets to Earth, the less you would see it spinning. But the further away, he's at 130,000 feet. So let me divide this really quickly. See if my math is right in this. 130 divided by 5. So he's 26 miles away.
Yeah, the Earth's supposed to be spinning at 1,000 miles an hour.
Right.
I think. Quote me.
So shouldn't the Earth be spinning at least a little bit underneath him?
Yeah, and if he's gonna land on it 100,000 miles an hour, just imagine that. Yeah, it would be landing in fucking. It'd be.
It's a relay. It's a relay table at the casino.
Sorry.
It's like a relay table at the casino. The white ball and then the red and black numbers.
Yeah.
Roulette, whatever it is.
It's just garbage. This is literally Cartoon Network for adults.
Okay, and he breaks the sound barrier. Could you imagine how fast your body, with nothing, no airplane around it, to break the sound barrier in a suit made of material? How is your brain not being crushed in your skull at this point, or your bones not being broken?
It's garbage. That's why he probably did do a big jump from a certain height, but it certainly wasn't in space because there is no space. But the sound barrier. Look, you can even see the curve of the Earth. It went inside out at one point. That's a typical trait of fisheye lenses, is that they don't always stay the correct ratio. They go inside out, so it looks like it's a.
And how is he right over the continent he is hovering over never moves beneath him? That's what blows me away.
Because the Earth doesn't move.
Shouldn't he be caught on fire at this point right now?
Sorry?
Like, shouldn't he be caught on fire right now, entering the Earth's atmosphere?
Don't know.
Like, he should be burning up, because don't they say that? The space shuttles are designed to absorb this heat that's massive friction when you enter in the Earth's atmosphere. Like, we see it.
Aluminium.
What's that?
So, that's like the fucking shittiest metal that you can, the cheapest, shittiest, weakest, thinnest metal that you can find. Aluminium. That's what they're made of predominantly.
Right. And if I have. Oh my gosh.
No, you've got 50 million a day. You'd spend a bit more on your materials, wouldn't you?
I want to know what this does to his body. At that, he goes Mach whatever, or however many G forces he goes.
Look at the horizon. Do you see how it's curving upwards?
Fisheye lens, yeah.
That's the fisheye lens. It's not fucking real. It's look.
Yep. That whole thing was a fisheye lens. Yeah, we got that one. Yeah, what a bunch of shit,
People think
dude.
that's real. People think that's a real perception of Earth. They think he jumped from space and that he saw the Earth look like a round ball like that when he didn't, because that's not what it looks like.
He's 9 altitude. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Airspeed. Dude, he's going 802 miles per hour. 802. Have you ever been on a motorcycle?
On the back of one, yeah.
Okay, so you know that, like, when you go 70, 80, or even 100 miles an hour, it's like you get that pressure. If you
I think I did about 40 tops both times, and I shit myself. I didn't like it.
Oh, that's kilometers. Okay, so you're going 80 miles an hour, right? My cousin had a Corvette Z06, and when he gunned it, it pinned me into the seat, and that's only, I don't know, 100, 120. This is 802 miles an hour free fall, and as hard as 160 beats per minute. And here's the G-force. I can't even see what that is. But, dude, shut the fuck up. 800. Oh, my God.
If I'd had more time and, like, more organization skills, I would have sent you videos, because I've got some saved somewhere of what the astronauts look like when they're taking off at Mach 2 and Mach 3 or whatever. Ridiculous speeds. And they just look like they're sat chilling.
Well, you see.
There's nothing. And then side by side, you can put a fraction of that speed on military planes, what people look like going at a G4, whatever, which is nowhere near Mach 3. And like they literally pass out. The faces all go fucked, and then they pass out because they can't fucking cope with the pressure of the speed. Astronauts,
dude, he's in a spin.
Times.
They say he's in a spin on this one, and he's in a free fall spin, so you've got nothing to stop your spin. And I don't know about you, but I remember being a kid, you're on the playground, you're on that wheel, and you spin yourself around, and you're just like nauseous. You can't function. You're going to tell me he's going to be in a free fall spin at 100,000 feet above the Earth's surface, doing 800 miles an hour, and he's going to be able to function? Dude, whenever you ever as a kid, you spin around, and they fall on the floor and the whole house moves. It's like you need a good minute to recover. There's no way in hell he's going to recover to be able to sit there and find his pole to rip the chute out. This is so fake.
It's a joke. It's a complete joke. All of it. Everything that NASA comes out with as science.
Oh God.
It's a joke. It's absolute made up garbage. It's laughable to somebody like me who has examined this stuff and seen all the holes in it. It's just laughable.
I've always loved the blue, right? You get that little like film of blue, and then you're in black space, and then just somehow you cross some, I don't know, imaginary thing, and then oh look, the sky is blue now. It's no longer black.
I think you're becoming a flat earther.
I
know you keep saying I don't give a shit, but listen, what does that actually say about you if you don't give a shit? Because I know that you care about what's true and what's lies. I know that you care about that. So how can you say I don't care what it is? That's just a cop out, in my opinion.
I will say it's not that.
I want to think about it too hard, because if you think about it too hard, it makes you realize shit. They've literally lied about the most obvious thing.
That's the other thing too is.
Thing as where we are. They've lied about that, and I fell for it most of my life. That's what makes people really uncomfortable. That's why the programming is so deep on this. There's so many people who are into the truth. You know, you can talk about vaccines, and you can talk about fucking government. You can talk about anything to them, and they're all for it. As soon as you say, "Oh well, have you ever looked into flat Earth?" You see this change in them, and they're like, no, like you're crazy.
Which is probably one of the most simple things to kind of
programmed everyone.
Yeah, no, that's one of the most simple things too, is where it's like, oh, you're a flat earther. It's like you want to discredit me because it's something that you can't.
You're so stupid. You don't know science.
Well, prove that the Earth is round.
They haven't even looked at the science. They're just believing in it because it's what they think that it's just what they think is science, but they don't know fucking science.
Here,
really.
I got
all the actual science, all the real experiments that have been performed by real scientists, not just government-paid shills like NASA.
Have you seen this one?
Science proves this flat, stationary Earth. So what you want about science? Like,
I sent this one to you. Have you ever seen it?
Does anyone want to tell me how in 1927 Universal Studios came up with this picture of the world when the first picture of the world wasn't available until the 1960s through NASA? Almost 40 years later? How did Universal Studios know that this is what the world looked like? Especially from space when we hadn't been to space yet. Does anyone know? Anyone want to guess?
The reason for lying about the shape of the Earth and making it into a ball is because when you turn it into a ball, you can cut off any land you want and keep it hidden. For example, we will take this map, we will cut out a piece, and we will take this flat piece and wrap it around a ball. Now, this is where I tell you that this is all there is. You can only go to destinations that are on the globe because you now believe that's all there is. But we still have all the land that I cut off earlier. It's seriously that easy. And when you consider it, it really is a plausible reason to lie.
Dominic,
does anyone want to...
What's that?
What have you done? All I can see is the comments.
Oh, you can't... You couldn't see that?
All I can see is the comment section. I don't know if that's what the viewers are going to see. Right?
Maybe I got you on the wrong one. Oh yeah, I had you on the wrong one. It's this one. This was. I'll play this again so you can see it, but I'll let the audio off. But they're saying, how can the Universal Studios in 1921 come up with this when we didn't have the model of the Earth until the 60s? It blows me away. I never thought of that one. It's the same damn thing with the moon.
Globe people will say, because we've always known it's a globe.
How?
Aristophanes, Copernicus, all these fucking fake Freemasonic historians, they'll say, oh, Copernicus and, Aristophanes and his fucking stupid stick experiment. They'll say, like, that we've always known it was a globe, but it's not the case at all. In fact, the globe idea is only very recent. It's like the last 100 years when this has been, like, forced into the zeitgeist of everybody's subconscious and made everybody believe that that's where they are. That's not what people thought before. Every ancient culture, literally every single one, knew where they were. They knew that they were on a flat, stationary Earth with a firmament above, and that was just common knowledge throughout history. But it's only the last 100 years that have been warped into something else, where people don't even know the history now. They don't know what was real and what wasn't.
I want to know what land they don't let us on aside from Antarctica, and that just means that Antarctica is a shit ton bigger than they're telling us about. It's as simple as that. All right, kids, that's Thursday. You want to get in touch with Lola, go to just follow her content at Lola Christina on Instagram, and she'll send you more conspiracy theories about stuff. And I didn't look at this one yet. The stars and planets through a Nikon P. I'll check that one out too. Maybe we'll look at that one later on. All right, kids, have a great damn day. Well, we got to look at that one. Have a great damn day. Make sure you go to Spreely.com. Check out all the other shows there, like the Burn Pit Podcast, Report and Opine, the Shannon Joyce Show, the Dumb Show, Don't Unfriend Me Show. Who am I missing? Wake Up America, and everybody else. And then join Spreely Social on Spreely.com, where you can say whatever you want. End of story, because that's what we do here. Guys, have a great damn day. We'll see you tomorrow for more of the Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely Media. Go help somebody. If you can't help them, don't hurt them. Simple as that. I don't know where Lola went. She's disappeared. She does that.